You can hear me now?
Yeah, that was my bad.
Nice.
So
Okay, yeah,
I need to
as
figure
as
out.
I was saying, you're the first person on here because despite me messaging dozens of people, I've only got 2 others that are definitely interested. Because 'cause I've tried to get other people on here and they just haven't. One is another podcaster who, like, the only reason we didn't end up recording his episode was because of the fact that I got home from work one day earlier in the week, and the girls had worn my wife out so much that
Mhm.
she was at 10%, so I just messaged him and said, "Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to postpone because my wife is at 10% because my twins just drained her to death. So I'm gonna make her dinner and we're gonna watch a movie." He's like, "I 100% get it because I'm a dad and I'm a twin. So you go do what you got to do."
Yeah, it's interesting the way you say she was at 10%. Is that like a saying you guys have?
No, I've seen on like some YouTube shorts and TikTok videos that being in a marriage, and I do it like this too, is it's not 50-50. Some days you're going to be at 10% and somebody's going to have to do 90. Some days you're going to be 50-50, 60-40, 80-30. Some days you're going to both be at 10 and there's going to be complete chaos because you don't know what to do at that moment. But she was at 10% and I had had a fantastic day up until that point. So I did what I had to do to take care of my wife,
Yeah, dude. No, yeah. Priorities for
which,
sure.
by the way, I actually officially got married yesterday. So this is technically my honeymoon weekend, and my wife was gracious enough to let me record this episode. So
Oh, well,
shout out to my
thank you.
wife.
That's amazing. What? That's really neat. How long have y'all been together?
We've been together for 6 years now.
Wow. Yeah, actually, Jamie and I are coming up on 4 years in, gosh, hold on, let me actually count the days here. That's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, damn. It's okay though. But actually, in a week exactly, we'll be together for 4 years. And we're not formally married, but, do they have common law marriage in Tennessee?
No, they don't, but I do know that Texas does, where if you're together and living together for a certain amount of time, the state considers you married anyway.
Yeah, yeah, and also, I mean, it's, like, even more so if you have, like, a child and stuff.
Mhm. I
Crap.
understand.
I don't know if this is a cursing-friendly podcast.
This is a you talk about what you wanna talk about how you wanna talk about it podcast. Because the only
Oh, okay.
real editing I'll be doing is, like, I'll shave off a little bit of conversation here and there.
Yeah,
Like,
and, the
like,
empty
I've decided a
spaces.
long time ago, I don't wanna show, the girls' faces online just because
Oh,
of
yeah.
what my wife does for a living,
Well, not even just that,
and I
bro,
don't
but
want to have my kids' pictures out there, especially with what
mm-mm.
people can do with AI now.
Yeah, oh
So
god, yeah, dude. They could feed a picture of a kid in and boom, pop something out just like that. But
mhm.
but but it's not even just all of that. You could also you could say, yeah, there's all that. But then you have all the people that willingly put their children out on the internet as part of their TikTok or their Instagram
Oh,
reels or
yeah.
their YouTube shorts, or they'll make an entire channels dedicated around these kids, and then you wind up hearing 3 or 4 years down the line, the person who ran such and oh dang, I just hit my mic. The person who ran such and such channel. Do you know the YouTube channels, the villains, or like those body cam videos where
I know
you
the
can,
premise.
yeah, you'll eventually see one of those videos and it winds up being one of these YouTube people that ran these pages with these kids. Like there's an actual video, body cam footage. I think there's more than one video about it with different content creators, quote unquote. Big quotes around that. And where the cops end up going into these houses and they're like freaking like chaining these kids to beds and locking them in rooms without food and eating food in front of them and shit like that. Just beyond abhorrent behavior, beyond reprehensible. Go straight to jail, straight to jail.
Yeah, my wife is a forensic interviewer, and she's the person
What is that?
these
That sounds so
she
cool.
she's the person these kids have to unload all of that trauma onto in order
Oh,
to get, like, on camera so that that stuff can be admissible in court without having a child to be sitting there in the courtroom telling this out to dozens of unknown people.
that's remarkable.
Mhm.
So,
I hear
did we
quite some story.
and you know what? I know you and you're such a good listener. Am I coming through distorted at all?
No, not at all. Like, I can
No?
hear you if you, like, tap your mic, but, it's not distorted at all.
No?
This software, uh, I I pay $30 a month for it, and it is phenomenal.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. So, like,
Like,
even when I'm like,
it'll use AI to take out every and if there's a huge silence, it'll just detect that and cut it away. It's a really fantastic software,
oh, is it so that's how these people always get their videos to do those constant tiny cuts. You know what I'm talking
Mhm.
about? I
Yeah.
always wondered how they did that. Forever, I'm like, is somebody sitting there really chopping these videos up like that? And obviously they used to, which is real
Yeah.
commitment. But so what? So right now, like if I'm talking, sorry, I know I got to move my mic a little bit. I'm
It's
sorry that
alright.
it's probably coming through bad sounding. But so I just wanted to make sure that if I was this close to my microphone, because when I am the thing that measures the decibels or whatever, my gain, it's going up into yellow. It's not going red, but I just wanted to make sure it wasn't distorting.
No,
So,
on my end, it's only getting to about the same level as mine, so it's not that bad, and
oh, okay.
once we're done and I'm, like, in the editing stage, it has a an AI magic button that I can press that evens out both of our audios and crisps them up a little bit without me having to do anything. So alls I'll have to do
Very
is just, like,
nice.
manually go in and edit out sections that I don't want.
Very nice. Very, very nice. It'd be cool if I could pick a picture and make it my little, I don't know, just like pick a picture over here. Pick a picture. Oh, by the way, I just set up my second monitor, so I'm back to dual monitors, and it's so nice. And I'm literally over here cycling between tabs, forgetting that I have an entire monitor right here next to my right.
I
So,
kinda wanna
yeah.
go to a triple monitor setup because I have another podcast that I'm doing that's, tabletop, role-playing
Are
games
you
like
wanting
D&D,
to, oh, you want to
and I
get one of
want one
those, like
I wanna
vertical
get
monitors?
yeah, I wanna get, like, a vertical monitor that's just for the software being open so I could see if I need to, like, adjust anything or see my
Yeah.
chat or anything when I'm because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually stream it to YouTube.
Yeah? That's cool. What's it called?
Family Questscape. It's
Okay,
me
hold on.
yeah, as the dungeon master, and my players are my cousin Kaylee, her husband, and Steven, and we're playing a tabletop game like D&D that's called Delta Green right now, and it's basically X-Files, the game.
Nice. Hold on. Okay, family what?
Questscape.
Quest.
Yeah.
Quest
Mhm.
corded up.
I would love to do, like, an audio drama style podcast one day.
Dude. Hear me out.
And you're my music producer, you could do all the music and sounds.
No. I suck at music now, dude. I haven't picked up my guitar in like a year or two. Now, it needs some work done to it, and I have a donor. You know, I'm a phlebotomist at a plasma center here, and one of them here in town. And well, shit, I kind of forgot where I was going with that. What was I talking about?
Phlebotomist.
Before that.
You were going from tangent to tangent, so
Some things never change, do they? Yeah. Sorry. I might get it back. People, if anybody's listening, they're going to be like, God damn it. Well, luckily it made no sense anyway.
oh, well, really quick. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Father's Podcast. This is me, your host, Okami, or Jeffrey, whatever you prefer. And we have my good friend Jordan here to tell his story. So, everybody, welcome Jordan to the Father's Podcast.
Hello. How's it going, everyone? It's always good to see you, my boy. Haven't seen
hmm
you in quite some time, actually.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
Yeah, like I literally haven't seen you. So it's nice to see that you look just as beautiful as ever. Only difference about me is that my hair has gotten long.
I mean, my hair is still long, so I just
Yeah.
I went Viking mode with it.
Yeah. I'm liking it a lot. So with mine, it's now past my shoulders.
Oh wow.
So Yeah, I actually grew it really long, and I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and dread it. You know how I always talked about getting dreadlocks?
Like small dreads or like shaggy
Uh,
dreads?
like what?
Like tight, small dreads or like shaggy dreads, you know?
Like
Like
Shaggy
hippie
Two Dope
dreads. Yeah, like
or something?
hippie dreads.
Okay. No, I was thinking more of like not the small tight ones. I'm not really a fan of them. I mean, they work. I want mine more of like a medium size, and then once they get more established and locked in, I'm just gonna kind of let them do their thing. And if a couple of them want to lock up together, that's what I'd like to do. But I've got to get I'm sorry I keep hitting my mic.
It's all
I
good.
wanna get really committed to the idea of getting them. The problem is, and I'm just gonna be completely honest, I'm worried about, and I know it's stupid, but I'm worried about people making fun of me for it. And not only that, but I'm worried about, like, somebody being like, "Oh, that's cultural appropriation," because I know it's not and all that, but it would just annoy the shit out of me.
Nowadays, it really doesn't matter what hairstyle you go with. Some people will say it's cultural appropriation in some way for something. I've been
Yeah.
cultural appropriation as well, and I'm just like, as long as hair has existed, braids and dreadlocks have existed.
Well,
You could
yeah, and
probably
that's the
trace
thing.
dreadlocks back to cave people. So,
Yeah, well, the thing about it is I did a little experiment, right? I completely stopped brushing and combing my hair, and I stopped getting the knots out of it, right? Because
mhm.
just by simply existing, my hair gets knots in it. I mean, you know what my hair is when it's
Yeah,
shorter, it
you have
gets
very froey hair.
yeah, it's very light, but it's also curly. But, when it gets longer, it straightens out more, but the ends still get curly, so they get knotted up quicker. And I stopped combing and brushing my hair,
Mhm.
like at the root. So they were real floppy there, but the rest of it was just this really malformed but very noticeable dreadlock. So yeah, I would say if we're appropriating cultures, then I guess my hair just decided that it wanted to be a Rasta. I don't know. But yeah, I want to go for it, dude. And my aunt, she works with a lady. She works with a black lady who does them. And I was like, would she be able to do it with my hair? And so she sent her a picture of it and she said she would. I just want to make sure I need to find some good like examples of what I'm going for, you
Yeah.
know? I'm taking a week off at the beginning of November. So I was thinking that then maybe I would do it.
Okay.
Yeah. That
My
gives me enough.
schedule is completely changing at the start of November. So my schedule is completely changing at the start of November. It's going to be a new chapter for me.
A new it's changing for better or for worse?
It has its gives and takes. I'm going to weekend overnights, so I'll be 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I will be basically a full-time dad.
So, are you still wait, so you'll still be getting your 40 hours, right?
For the most part, yeah, 36, 37.
Okay, yeah, well 36 is the minimum, and I've
Yeah.
been there, bro. They've had to cut usually around income tax season, they have to cut our hours because less people are coming in to donate plasma because, they get their, 3 to 6 plus $1,000 checks and
Mhm.
suddenly they don't need us anymore. Well, um, they start cutting our hours and get us down to about 36 as well. But it's remarkable how much those 4 little hours can make a difference, isn't it?
Mhm. And I'll still have opportunities to go in at least, like, maybe once a week, once every other week
Yeah.
during the week if I want to. Taking this shift was my choice because for a while, my ever since the girls were born, my mother-in-law has been watching the girls, and
Yeah.
I feel that for a long time, she's been very disrespectful of my wife and my household. So I told my
Really?
wife, "If she keeps it up, I'm gonna not let her watch the girls, and she's gonna learn that I'm not a man that backs down."
Really? Okay. Okay. Well,
And the
we,
final straw was
uh
she
huh.
brought lice into my house.
Mother in law did?
Yes, her or one of my, brother and sister-in-laws did, and since they all live together, they all have lice. but no one's
How
willing to
old
admit.
how old is the brother or sister-in-law?
She's number 4 of 11, and all of the ones underneath her still live with her parents, with the exception of one. So there's 6 or 7 people from the
Uh,
age of 24 to, I think, 13 in that
oh
house.
shit, bro. Okay, I get now why you answered me that way. I was so confused while you were taking the long path, but it's crazy that even just saying it the way you did was still the shorter option than naming all the names.
Mhm.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah,
All all
I felt
all
doing that
unkempt?
was yeah,
All
I
are
felt
they all unkempt and unbathed and unshowered? Or do they all have
no,
like
but no one's willing to admit who did have it and,
well, if it wasn't
where it
you,
originated from. Because, I've told you, I work in surgery at the hospital. I wouldn't be
yeah, dude.
you're not allowed in a room, if they
Yeah.
have that. So it didn't come from me. My wife is a forensic interviewer. They wouldn't allow the kid to have an interview if they had lice.
Not only that, but you're just normal functioning adults who don't walk around with fucking lice all day.
Mhm.
You know, like normal people, right? Normal people when they have lice, they're like, my fucking scalp is itching and burning. What's wrong? Do I have dandruff? And then they check and they're like, that looks like dandruff, maybe. And then they look and it's moving, and then it's like, oh my God. And most people at that point probably want to throw up because they're like, oh my God, I have fucking little bugs in my hair. And
Mhm.
but but but
I'm
then you
I'm
have the
lucky I did
fact,
not have to shave. I'm very
man,
lucky.
I know that would have pissed you off, dude.
Mhm.
You know, it's a wonder they let you keep your beard working in surgery.
If it gets too long, I have to wear a beard cover, and
But
it's
they
just
let you
at that
keep it.
point. Yeah.
That's really cool. I love that. I love that. Cuz I know that it would sadden you to have to shave.
Mhm.
I know it would. You've had a beard not ever since I'd known you. But a solid 85% of the time I've known you, you've had a beard.
There have been very rare occasions where I would shave it off, like, mostly, like, to
Well,
commit
I
to, like,
meant
a
before
Halloween
you
costume or
did.
something, yeah,
Like back when we
back
were
in high
like,
school.
yeah, in
Yeah,
high school. Back when you didn't like you physically didn't have a beard yet.
I just had the chop.
Yeah, boy. You were still technically a baby face, but you were my baby face. And you'll always be. You'll always be my lover. Yeah, when you do that, suddenly you forget things that you otherwise probably would not have forgotten. And here I am in that position, unwilling to admit it.
I don't
Wait,
know what you're talking about. What were you just talking about? I feel like like, there was, like, a huge cut right there.
okay, are you fucking with me? Because now I'm confused. Because if you're not fucking with me, then I feel like I'm
No,
in the Twilight Zone.
I'm talking about how this is a podcast and we're not live, so I could cut whatever you want.
Damn, you're right. I watch a lot of live podcasts, and for some reason, I thought it was live, and I'm like, man, live
I could have made it
podcasts are
live, but I had no reason to.
yeah. Yeah, but like live podcasts are for like when you have thousands of people watching. That's the only time, even
Mhm.
hundreds of people watching. But yeah, no, I don't know. I've never, like I said, this is very obviously my first podcast
Yeah. And
ever.
it won't be the last time you're on this podcast
Oh
because
no,
Zoe's gonna
no, no.
continue to grow and you're gonna
Yes.
continue learning life lessons, and that's what this podcast is gonna be about, is about you telling your story so far and then going down the line and then
Well,
continuing that story.
I guess, I've just been kind of well, I haven't been doing that right now, so I
Yeah,
guess
we
we
could
just
go
kind of
ahead and
we're kind
get
of
into the meat of it.
meandering
Yeah.
to the bits and pieces, and yeah, so I mean, you lead the way, Mr. Miyagi.
All right. All right. Let's start the journey back up. How did your wife tell you that she was pregnant? Because I said it's mine on my episode, and basically what happened is unfortunately before we had the girls, we had two miscarriages, and
Mm,
the first time she ever told me she was pregnant, because at that point, considering we had two miscarriages, at that point I was a parent without a child, and a lot of people don't understand that about a miscarriage is because you lost your child before you got a
mhm,
chance to meet them.
yeah.
she originally told me while I was sitting there eating my dinner, and she looks at me. She had gotten done before me. She was walking into the living room to do something. She's like, "And oh, just so you know, I've got something I need to tell you, but I want you to be comfortable and just relax beforehand." I stop eating. I turn to her and I go, "No, no, no, we're not doing that. You're not gonna wait to tell me some news that could be life-ending news after I get comfortable. You're gonna tell me now while I'm eating dinner before I get comfortable."
Yeah, I appreciate the sentiment, but you have got this backwards. It's like, don't wait for me to calm down for me to get wired back up. Please tell me now
So she
cannot.
turns to me, she takes a deep breath, and she goes, "I'm pregnant." I go, "That's it? Okay, from this point on, we're gonna do whatever you want to do, whatever you feel is necessary to do, we're gonna do." But that was not constitutive of what you just said, where I'm gonna wait till you're comfortable. You built that up so high. Like, I wasn't gonna freak out.
Yeah. And so that was her telling you of her being pregnant with your current with your
No,
children. That was just the very first time.
that was the very first time. With the girls, we had been actively trying.
Okay,
And
because that was going to lead me to my next question. I was going to say, at that point, if you had two previous, miscarriages, then at that point you were probably more. It wasn't ever going to be a shock if you got pregnant. It was always going to be, hopeful. But it was never going to be like one of those instances where, like you've seen videos of guys that like you just see immediate dread and their faces go pale. But so that was a good, just the fact that your initial reaction was just like, oh, well, that goes to show you that you were comfortable having children with this person. And that's kind of the exact same thing with Jamie and I. So we had known each other because we started talking again in 2021. I'm pretty sure it was. Let's see, 1, 3, 4. Yes, 2021. And at the time, I was still in a relationship with the girl I was with. I don't know if you remember the previous chick I was with.
I think I talked to her once when we were like playing a game or something.
Yeah. So, and like I said, I met her in 2017 or 2018. I want to say it was 2017. But she was actually dating a friend of mine. A lot of life happened between then and 2021. For both of us. So when we finally started talking again, back in 2021, we had both been through quite a bit. Now, I'll admit, in a lot of different ways, but we bonded over that. And we started talking and talking, and by the time my ex and I had broken up, like I had just mentioned, I was already pretty much decided that I was falling in love with her, and I had always had a thing for her, but the issue is I live in, well, I don't know if I should say where we live, but
Up to you.
well, people aren't. Yeah, it's okay. It's not like I'm gonna have any of my info on here. Either way,
like anything you want cut, I can cut. So if you don't want, where you want,
nobody's gonna.
At the very end, I could plug what I'm gonna plug. Like if you want me to plug your SoundCloud, I can plug your SoundCloud or something.
Nah, man, we don't gotta do any of that. We're just here sharing stories, and I'm not really trying to do anything like that anymore. I'm just trying to work and take care of my family, bro. That's all I'm trying to do.
I get it. That's what I'm trying to do.
Have a good time while I'm doing it, and I'm not trying to pursue any kind of music career, because at this point in my life, the longer I pursue that, it's going to start verging into midlife crisis territory, and I'm okay. But, boy, I did it again. I forgot where I was going. Yes, got it. So, yeah, the issue was, dang, that's going to be a big cut. The issue was that I live in Texas and she was living in Tennessee. Well, for 9 months, right? For 9 months, we did long distance relationship from Texas, Tennessee. Talk every night, all that, blah, 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 blah. Do you remember that really, really, really bad tornado that hit in 2021, that hit Mayfield?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Well, that tornado that hit Mayfield was part of a series of an outbreak of tornadoes. And one of the tornadoes in that outbreak actually hit, is it Dresden? I want to go ask her. Yeah, but it hit Dresden, I think it was, and absolutely destroyed the town. And I was on the phone with her when it hit her neighborhood. And so they went outside and like people's roofs were gone. And all it did, thankfully, was like flip their boat over. But she sent me pictures and it was like a fucking war zone, dude. So fast forward 9 months, I finally had managed to get my shit together. So from the time we started talking, right? When we started talking, I was still with my ex. I didn't have a job. Blah, 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 blah. By the time 9 months had rolled around, I had secured a place, a 2-bedroom duplex. I had a full-time job, and we were going to pick up Jamie. So me and my mom hopped in the car. We went and got her. And, here's what's funny. Not very long after we moved in, we got everything moved in without exposing too much about my wife. She was coming off of certain medications that when you come off of them have a tendency to make you sick. Well, she continued to get sick and stay sick. And then I noticed that she was only sick in the morning. And I started kind of mulling around the idea, the possibility, the suggestion that mayhaps she was pregnant. And it didn't scare me as much as I thought it would, but I kind of went ahead and told my mom that I thought blah 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 blah. And so I was at work, and I know this is such a long lead up, but it is what it is. It's not like we're on any kind of time restraint.
It's all about how you tell your story, man.
And I'm very ADD, meandering.
Trust me, when I did my first episode, it was a bunch of tangents. But I guarantee you, I only re-listened to it once when I was editing it, and I guarantee you, because it was like over a month ago, I had so many tangents in there that I didn't get as much information as I wanted in there.
Yeah. Well, that makes me feel better. I keep hitting my microphone too, so I have one of those boom mic stands. I mean, one of those like little arm things with the
elbow.
Yeah, with the little springs on it. Yeah, that thing. Not just like that, but pretty close. Wait, that might be the exact same thing I got. Hold on. Let me see it. Point the camera at it. At the Nope. That one's got a lot more meat on its bones.
More meaty girl.
She a little thick.
She's so thick.
Bro. Thick. Dude, so I'm gonna get my mixer set up again eventually, but one of my favorite fucking things to do was because I had multiple reverb settings on it, and I would turn the effects knob all the way up, and then I would just have my USB through, not my effects through, or no, I would have my finger, I'm sorry. I would toggle.
Dude, trust me, I get it. I have so many knobs over here. It's wonderful.
Yeah. I would go ahead and toggle the mute effects button, and then when I would say something like specific, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, well you're a bitch," and when I would, yeah, oh my god, are you serious?
Wonderful,
bro. I would never stop fucking with
Mixers
the auto-tune.
Are so fun.
That's more than a mixer though. That's like does that have a loop station built into it?
I don't see a loop button. Maybe power loop back, so it probably does.
Huh.
It funnily enough did not come with a manual.
But bro, just look it up online. I've had to do that so many times with shit like that. Just Google the exact name of it that's on the side of the product, and then type in user manual. It'll pop right up in a PDF. I've done that a million times. Okay, sorry. again, my stupid tangent brain.
But
So
you were at work.
yeah, I was at work. So I was at work, and my wife was with my mom. At least I was pretty sure she was. Sometimes my mom would come and pick her up or whatever, but she had mentioned that she was gonna go try to get some pregnancy tests because my mom was forcing me to face facts. She was like, "Son, we need to get a pregnancy test to be sure." I was like, "All right." So I'm at work, and I have to use the restroom. So on my way to the restroom, I just grabbed my phone real quick, went into the stall, and then I peed and checked my phone, all that stuff, and all I had was a message that said, "Hey, call me real fast." And my stomach just kind of went, "Go, gosh." And yeah, so I called, and she was like, "I'm pregnant." It was a lot of emotions, the least of which was panic. I was far less panicked than I ever expected to be. I was
When you're with your person,
well,
finding out
yeah.
that information, and it doesn't induce panic. Even when we found out that we had twins, it wasn't panic. It was more, okay.
We get to raise two of them at the same age who have a super close bond. That sounds great. So I after I got off the phone, I had a little mini panic attack, but it wasn't like oh my god, I'm gonna be. It was just like it was one of those paradigm shift moments. You know what I'm talking about, where your entire where your entire worldview is shifting.
Evaluate where you are.
Yeah.
And figure out how you're gonna be the dad you want to be.
Yeah, and it was all happening really fast for me at that moment. It all just kind of like, it's like all the cogs were turning, and the nothing was moving, but the cogs were turning, and all this potential energy was building up, and then boom, all at once, it just kind of gave, and it was just like, oh my gosh. And it kind of hit me, the fact that, oh, I'm gonna be a father, I'm gonna be this and be that and all this stuff, and we're gonna, it was a lot to take in, the fact that I'm gonna have this entire human being that I'm about to have to take care of, and it is my sole responsibility to not only make sure that they grow up feeling loved, but that they grow up to be a well-adjusted member of society who isn't gonna go around shrieking in a subway that they hear ghosts in their bones, like shit like that is not okay. And what's really bad is the person screaming that they have ghosts in their bones used to be somebody's little baby, and I don't want that for my child. So I'm gonna make sure that my child is okay, but in order to do that, you have to be present and be aware and be, I don't know. So I'll get a bit vulnerable here. For the first year and a half of Zoey's life, I was a drunk, because for the past, I've slipped up a few times, but over the past year and a half, I can count 5 to 10 times I've had a beer.
That's really good.
Right. So that's not nothing.
I remember when you lived down here, I remember one moment where I had to stop you from getting in your car because you were just so drunk and so angry. I was like, dude, think about what you're doing right now. So to see that you've come that far is an amazing thing.
Man. I distinctly remember getting saying, hey, I'm gonna go get another beer. And I just remember you and Justin looking at each other, kind of just giving each other a sidelong glance, okay. It got way worse, bro. It got so much worse when oh brother, I was drinking a lot. Now, I never really got into liquor heavy, but I was drinking a lot of beers. I was killing 3, 4, 40 ounces a day sometimes. And those are the equivalent of about 3.5 to 4 beers. Wow. So it's about a 12-pack a day sometimes. And some of these are the real rock gut shit that's 8%. I was becoming really mean. I was really, and this is after. I mean, I'm skipping a lot of stuff, but even after Zoe was born, I still was drinking for a while. I don't know exactly how long, but I want to say it was, gosh, I mean, it's kind of hard to admit it. I'm fucking admitting it right now. But, you know, for like the first year or so of her life, you know, I was drinking daily, and I'm just so glad that she doesn't have a memory, because I remember times where I was just screaming at Jamie, just so angry, and just this violence was emanating from me. And you know, I didn't want that for my child, because I realized what I was doing right then was I was re-establishing a vicious cycle that I had already been through. And when I was younger, I had already been through and experienced. So I wasn't
Trust me,
going to...
I get it, because up until the point that me and Steven, we moved out here, my mom was an alcoholic. I recently found out from my dad that she needed permission from the state of California, apparently, to move out here.
To Tennessee?
Yeah. And she had been sober then for a few years. Me and Steven were almost taken by the state, because me and Steven were in a horrible car crash with her behind the wheel.
Wow. Were y'all injured?
No. She doesn't even remember me being in the front seat.
Front seat.
Mm-hmm.
And how old was Steven?
Well, I want to say we were super young. This was like me 2, 3, him 4.
Well,
5,
I was going to
maybe.
say, depending on what you said is how bad it is going to piss me off, because depending on how old Steven is, because you're about 2 or 3 years younger than him, right?
I'm 2 years younger than him.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I'm glad that she doesn't drink anymore.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm telling you, man, I was drinking real bad, heavy, really bad. It took me over, man, you know? It totally kind of took me over. I was just to where I don't know, I would wake up and I would need a drink. If I didn't have one in the morning, my anxiety would just be over the... Should I just hit my... Sorry.
All good.
If I'm such a little bitch with a habit of apologizing, please tell me it's okay. Tell me everything's okay and that you're not gonna
It is
punish
quite
me
all
later.
right, sir. It's
Oh my
quite
God.
all right.
I had
So,
my eyes...
all right.
I had my eyes closed when I was talking like that, and then your voice just suddenly got so close it fucking made me jump. I was like, what the fuck?
My, yes. Tell me
My.
how it hurts, mommy.
I want to know what your skin feels like wrapped around my skin.
Give it to
Wait.
me, Daddy.
What? That sounded like a fucking soundboard.
That was the
Give it to
female
me.
voice.
Give it to me, Daddy.
Whenever I click the voice changer button, it tells me male voice, female voice, baby voice, uncle voice.
Does it say it in like your headphones?
It says male
Uncle.
voice.
Female boys,
Wow.
baby boys,
Uncle voice.
Satan voice.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, fucking Uncle Satan?
I also have a small soundboard, but I don't know if you'll be able
Wait.
to hear those.
Isn't Uncle Satan
Amazing.
Dragon Ball
Incredible.
Z?
Outstanding.
There's gotta be a way you can,
Amazing.
bro, there's gotta be a way you can program that soundboard to add your own shit.
I should be able to. It does have a custom mode, so I should be able to
That would
load
be
sound
my
bites into
favorite
it.
thing. I would load that up with so much good shit. And I bet you have banks that you can add, that you can switch up to.
I just spent $20 on a humble bundle that is just audio, like sound effects and music, and it's all royalty free. So I'm gonna have so
A
much
what?
fun, like adding stuff to these
A
recordings.
humble bundle?
Humble Bundle's a website, and they started out doing bundles of video games for super cheap. But now they
Yeah.
do books, software, everything.
What, like, so like they're like Steam, but for more than just games?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Hey, can we take a quick break so I can go smoke a quick cig?
Yeah, you do what you gotta do, man. And when we get back, you'll do a deep dive into holding Zoe for the first time and going to
man.
where you are now.
Yeah, I actually have a great picture of that moment that my mom captured somewhere. I wonder if I can find it. But yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. I am back. Back in the saddle again.
Hello, sir.
Welcome back.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Got me another nice, delicious cup of tea.
Yeah, I wouldn't got me a little water.
All right. So let's fast forward to the first time you met your daughter, to Zoey. First time you held Zoey and saw her for the first time.
So we were in the room at the hospital. Up to that time, I had been saying, oh, there's no way I'm gonna be able to like watch. I'm not gonna be able to watch her come out. It's gonna make me go pale, blah blah blah. Well, the moment they started telling her to push, woo, I just hit my desk. The moment they started telling her to push, you know, I was holding her hand and I basically was holding her leg for her too. And when I saw little head crowning and I saw that hair, the moment I saw it, my breath left my lungs. It was like they just got sucked out by a vacuum. I was like, oh my God. And then, you know, she just kept coming. And then before you know it, the doctors had her and, you know, they asked me if I wanted to cut the umbilical cord, and I said sure, and they actually let us keep the scissors. Well, they took her and, you know, put her on the little table to weigh her and get all their measurements and make sure that she was healthy and everything. And, she was perfectly healthy. I want to say she was like 8 pounds. I can't remember exactly. 8 pounds, 7 ounces, 11 ounces maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
the girls were they came early. They came at 34 weeks, which is expected with twins, and they were 4 pounds and 4 pounds 2 ounces.
little ones.
They were so tiny.
Man. Well, the moment they had finished all that, I was able to finally hold her, and my mom captured a picture of this exact moment. But when they handed her to me, and I was just kind of holding her, and she was a little swaddled up in the towel a little bit, my breath just went, and I just started like crying. And it was a profound moment because, you know, I knew that I feel like that my entire life had led up to that moment. And everything prior to her being in my arms, everything prior to that meant so much less than everything from that point forward. And it's almost like a foreign land almost, talking about before my daughter was born. It's weird. But when I first held her, yeah, I mean, I didn't know exactly how I would react, but it's captured forever in a picture that was very well timed by my mom. And, you know, I'll never forget it. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's better than any feeling I've ever felt.
Yep. Being in the delivery room and watching your children come forth is an experience that, unless you have more than one kid, I only got to experience that once. And, you know, it was Novalee came out, and then 30 minutes later, Imogen decided to come out. But it's a unique experience.
Yeah.
You will never experience a moment like that.
No, and what's amazing is it's so unique, but it's really interesting how something can be so unique and yet so common. I don't know. Because, you know, babies born, like how many babies are born every few seconds, you know, like every second across the world. I mean, innumerable. Throughout the day, throughout a 24-hour period, just innumerable amounts of children are born. So it's happening every day all throughout history and has
when
been.
I'm at work, I hear the hospital play that jingle multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Because they play it throughout the entire hospital.
I imagine that when that happens, just a little bit of a smile comes across your face.
Probably. It's probably psychosomatic if it does. I can't really tell you if it does.
Well, you know, you just one of those things that might happen in passing. I don't know. But I think it's the greatest gift. How do I put this? I think it's the greatest gift God has ever given us right next to our salvation through Christ. That's my personal belief, as a Christian. I would never try to foist my religion on anybody else, but,
I know. You know I'm a pagan, and
Yeah.
we have completely different beliefs.
but, there's such a profound responsibility that comes with it, because you're not only raising another little human, but you're raising like the next generation of human. And it's important that they are socially developed and aren't just running amok. So I feel a great sense of responsibility, but it's an equally profound amount of just unbridled, unconditional love I didn't even know I was capable of.
Oh, yeah. It's a completely different kind of love, especially when you use this as a basis for it. It's a laughable moment when you think about it, but it's completely true. It is a completely different love than the way you love your wife or the way you love any other family member, or even the way you and me love each other, because I wouldn't put my nose to your ass to see if you took a shit in your underpants. But for them, I do it every day because they're not potty trained.
Yeah, man, for sure.
It is a completely
Such a good way to put it.
It is a completely different type of love, and a lot of people don't understand that kind of love unless you're a parent, and you're a parent that gives a crap about your children.
Yeah, and then if you're fortunate enough to be a good parent, and you are fortunate enough to raise a good child that loves you and they've seen all the sacrifice that you've given, maybe they would be willing to stick their nose to your ass to make sure if you didn't shit your pants when you're like 98 years old, and they want you to
when I'm
stay
living
in
with
there.
them because I don't have enough money to live in a home.
Yeah, no, it's like, no, we don't want you to live in a home, Dad. We want you to stay with us. And then, just like they're just making sure you didn't shit your pants. Yeah.
I hope that they love me that much.
Of course. I think any parent would hope that their kid does, but at the same time, I would be one of those parents that's like, I don't want to be a burden. I love the young people. I'm sick and tired of you, old man.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad. Keep digging.
I'm tired of digging, Grandpa. That's too damn bad. That too damn bad would be a really good reverb spot. That's too damn bad. Or an echo.
Bad.
So how old are your two little ones?
They will be 2 in January. So just a few months away from being 2.
Okay. Zoey is going to be 3 in May. So got a little while to go, but not too much longer. Trying to get into potty training territory. We got our little potty.
Every time I go to the bathroom, they follow me in there and they sit down on there because we got the potties, but we haven't fully started it yet. I'm going to wait until next month when it's just going to be me and them every day. So why wouldn't I take them in there every like 30 minutes or so to get them used to getting on the potty? And it's going to be rough considering there's 2 of them. But
man,
I want to do it as soon as I can.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, I bet it's gonna save you such a fucking fortune in diapers, bro. I mean, you're still gonna need diapers, but
especially
you know
for like bedtime, or like maybe make them wear one every now and then if we're gonna be out all day and just in case they have an accident. But
yeah, exactly. Like you can stock up on like backups. They're not gonna be your frontline defense against poo-poos and pee-pees. You're gonna get a reprieve from the constant need for buying diapers.
Oh yeah,
which is good. And I gotta say, I commend you, my brother, because when Zoey gets to be in a handful, I'll now just think I could have 2 of them. No, man, I'm sure
we're very lucky that only Novely really has my temperament as I was when I was a kid, and. Like, she has so many tantrums a day, and I have come a long way from when I was when they were fresh out the womb, because I could handle a baby crying, but I'm pretty sure you can agree with me. Babies have a particular scream.
Yes, Yeah,
And
and Zoe's was like, yeah, bro.
that scream would activate my autism, and I am thankful that I was good enough and coherent enough to be able to just make sure they are in a safe place and won't hurt themselves and won't hurt each other, that I would literally have to just walk out the door for about 10 minutes and just breathe, because it would just activate my autism and make me so angry.
Yeah, it would. In fact, it's a similar thing to me with I'm pretty sure I don't have autism or anything, but I get what you mean when you say your autism. I have a thing with very loud, sudden, abrupt noises that just make me very, very aggravated. Yeah, like if somebody were just to kind of like walk up and go real loud, like next to me, it would piss me off beyond reason, right? For at least if at the least for just a brief moment. But with Zoe, she had a particular scream. She would do this thing where she would go, like she would like screech, but she would like use her throat, and she would get going, and it would be so, it would be like mind splitting, right? And it would fill me with such a crazy amount of anger and frustration that I felt so bad, dude. I felt so horrible at how angry I would get. You know, I would never scream, shut up, I would never do that. But, you know, I would just like, I would just feel shame at the amount of anger I let it cause, you know?
I get it, because my choices in those moments were, it would literally activate fight or flight. It was literally stand there, shut down, stand there, scream back at them, or walk out the room and calm down. The first two were not options, because 2 days a week, it's me and them right now.
Yeah,
and you don't want it was just me and them, and I don't want them to feel unsafe with me to the point where, hey,
bingo.
I'm crying, Daddy, and Daddy's just sitting there doing nothing.
Or screaming at me, Dad. Why is Daddy screaming at me? And, you know, the thought alone makes you want to just break down and cry, thinking that little innocent child is just scared of you. You're their protector, and they're scared of you. I don't even see how a father could function.
So many times I would break down crying in front of Caitlin, just because I was so overstimulated, especially like in those early days around bedtime when they just wouldn't go to sleep, and I would just break down crying, and I would just be like, I'm so sorry that you're having to do this by yourself right now, because I can't do anything right now to help you. I'm so sorry. And I commend her for being able to juggle 2 crying babies and a crying husband at the same time, just because I could not do anything to help her in those moments.
Well, and that's that's going to be the mark of a good wife, good husband. You know, I've had my fair share of really shitty moments. In fact, back when I was drinking a lot, man, I probably was shitty enough so many times that I think vast majority of women would have left me, even if they were pregnant with my child. I mean, I was really nasty, mean guy. I wasn't like physically abusive, but I was definitely verbally and mentally abusive. Said some really heinous shit, bro. And I felt a lot of guilt over that, because, you know, some of the stuff I said probably still bothers Jamie to this day. But she's still with me. You know, I'm grateful for that. And the same goes, I know she thinks with me for her, because, you know, she has, do you know what endometriosis is? Right. So she, I want to get the exact definition, but I think it's a condition resulting from the appearance of endometrial tissue outside the uterus causing pelvic pain. So basically she gets ulcers on the outside of her uterus. Sorry, I needed that burp really bad. And every time, you know, she has her period every month, I mean, it's like excruciating pain. She says it's as bad or worse than labor pains, and she gets them every month for like 2 weeks out of the month. Yeah, as bad, if not worse, than labor pains, but she doesn't have any of the stuff they give you for labor pains when you're going into labor. So she just, so, you know, she has to take kratom and, stuff like that. But hold on really fast. Hold on. Alrighty, my friend. I'm back.
All right.
Can you hear me, good sir?
Okay.
I just had to go check on Zoe real quick. I thought I heard a bang, and I go to open up the door to our living room, and perpendicular to the door that opens, because, okay, the way our house is set up, we live, me, my wife, my daughter, and my mom. We all live together. So my mom has her room. We have our room. And then the living room of the house, like that would be the obvious living room, My mom has that living room, her TV, her sofa and all that stuff. And then the master bedroom of the house is our living room. And it has a connected bathroom to it, right? So we have our own bathroom. And my mom also has her own bathroom. And then she works from home, remote, and so she just works from home, and she has her big desk set up in the living room, dining room area, or no, the kitchen dining room area, which works really well. But so I wanted to explain why I have a door to my living room, because most people don't have like a door that opens up to their living room. So I open up the door, and the closet door was open. And I look over, and Jamie's sitting there in front of the closet with the door open, and Zoe's in there, and she's just going through all of her toys, picking out some toys she wants, and it's so cute. And then I go to get up, and she takes her little hand and grips the toy box because she thought I was gonna come get her and take her out of the closet. And then so I went, and Jamie was like, try to pick her up, watch what she does. So I went and picked her up, and she went, no way, no way, no way, no way. So cute. So do you like, what shows okay, so it's Imogen and don't tell me. Imogen and no, tell me.
Novely.
What is the inspiration for both of those names?
I am a big podcast and audio person. The first time I heard the name
Imogen
was on
Heap?
No, it wasn't actually Imogen Heap. I didn't know about Imogen Heap until after Imogen was born, funnily enough.
What you say?
I heard the name on an audio drama I used to listen to, and I was like, oh, that's a very nice name. And now that I'm a big tabletop person, I listen to a tabletop podcast called Critical Role, and I reheard the name as one of the characters in their third big campaign, and I was like, I really like that name. I'm going to throw that in as a name option for one of the girls, because both of us picked a handful of names, and we decided once we actually saw them what the names would be. So my names were between Samus Olivier, after Samus Aran from the Metroid series.
Right, obvious.
And Imogen Piper, after Imogen from Critical Role, and Piper from the TV show Charmed.
Okay.
And Novely she got from, I can never remember the name of the movie, but it's like a movie with Natalie Portman in it where she gives birth in a Kmart.
Oh, is it Where the Heart Is?
Yes, that is it.
My mom loved that movie growing up. Let me make sure.
I think that's it.
Yep, that's it. Where the Heart Is. My mom loved that movie. So, yeah, that was the daughter's name in that? Novely?
That was the mother's name. That was Natalie Portman's character.
Novely.
And Baby America.
Novely Nation. Novely Nation is her name. Wow. That's so neat. My mom loved that movie. Loves. I don't know why I said it in past tense. So, Zoe, actually, have you ever played the video game Road 96?
No.
You should check it out, bro. It's a really good game. I don't know if it's on Game Pass. Do you have Game Pass?
I do.
Let me see. If it is on Game Pass,
I need to add you on Xbox, apparently.
Yes, you do, sir. You need to add me on Xbox. Do you play War Thunder or anything?
Right now, I am playing Jedi Survivor.
Oh, cool. I'm playing Knights of the Old Republic, Sith Lords.
Nice. Fantastic game.
Yeah, I started playing Terraria again as well.
We should get a world going if you have it on PC. Or
I
Xbox.
do, brother. I have it on PC. I also have been playing Fishing Planet. I don't know if you're not really into that kind of stuff, but
it depends on what kind of game it is. Like if it's
it's like a legit
Valheim,
fishing. No, it's like
fishing
legit
simulator.
Yeah.
Okay. I love simulator
like
games. So
no, like it's really good. Like I mean, it's like a full-on fishing simulator. Like you're reeling the bait in. You have different types of poles. Like with the bobber. Then you have like a spinning reel where like, you're popping the bait and man, it's so much fun, brother. And we can play it together. But yeah,
Apparently, we
let
are
me
friends
see.
on Xbox. I didn't know we were.
We are?
'Cause I have Game Pass on my PC too, and I just checked. Yeah, we are.
Oh yeah, dude, Road 96 is on Game Pass right now. So it's a first-person game, right? And it takes place in hold on, let me see if I can find a good description of it, because so it's one of those games where all the decisions you make come back, and they all have an important effect on the way the game plays out.
Oh, I've seen this game. This game is actually in my. It actually says it's in my wait list of games to play.
Yeah, dude, one of the best games I've ever played, bro. So it's free it's on Game Pass right now. I highly recommend just go ahead and install it so it's ready. But there's a character in that game, one of the main characters in that game that she's an NPC, but she's a main character. Her name is Zoey, and we really liked the name Zoey. So and we liked her character too because she was kind of rebellious, and I don't know, there was something about it, and we liked it, right? We liked the character, and we liked the name Zoey. And we were trying to figure out names, and we mulled around for a while. We thought, regardless of what the name was going to be, I wanted to incorporate the name Lane, 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 as paying homage, or is it homage or homage? Is it either or? Does it matter?
Yeah, I think it's either or.
Okay. I always like to say homage. Omelette du fromage.
Omelette du fromage.
Say it again for me, Dexter.
Omelette du fromage.
Fromage. No, but anyway, like paying homage to. I lost my train of thought, bro.
Lane.
Thank you so much. Paying homage to my late Uncle Lane. He passed away in I think 2012 or 2013 in a car accident, and he was very dear to me. So I always said, if I ever have a kid, I want Lane to be somewhere in the name. So we were thinking maybe Laney at first, like Laney or Lainey or something like that. But nah, not really. And then if it was a boy, we were gonna name him Vincent. Yeah, we were gonna call him Vinny, like Lil Vinny. But come here, little Vinny. Hey, Vinny.
I cannot remember any of the boy names I had picked out.
That's the only one, really. I was gonna consider Marin, like Merrin. It would have been named after Father Marin from the Exorcist story. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The one who's like, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Your mother sucks cocks in hell. I love that movie, dude. Lord forgive me. Goodness. But yeah, so we ended up landing on Zoey. And then we had to decide on a spelling. And you know how a lot of people spell it Zoe? Well, that's how I was thinking we were going to spell it. But Jamie had a very, very brilliant and simple reasoning behind not wanting to spell it that way. She said, if your name was Joseph, okay, and you spelled it Joey, what would you call it? Joey. Yeah. If it was Joe, what would you call it? Joe. So people, we decided that we didn't want Zoey to go her entire life saying it's not Zoe, it's Zoey. Because Zoe, some wonderful dumb dipshit, announcer at school would be like, Zoe Calk, and fuck it up every time. I could just see it happening, throughout her entire life. So we just tacked that Y on the end of it because,
I know for a fact, growing up, Imogen's going to have a similar issue. Considering we live in Tennessee, people are going to just see how her name is spelled.
Imogene?
Imogene or Imogene.
Yeah, Imogene or Imogene. So, well, but hey, at least you're not in Appalachia. Imagine it there. I can't even imagine how they would pronounce that up in Appalachia.
It's funny you mention Appalachia because me and Caitlin eventually want to move out to West Virginia in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, really?
Where no one can bother us.
That'd be nice. West
We're not really
Virginia,
people. We're not people,
mama.
but we do what we can.
Yeah, man. That way you can sit out on your banjo with a corncob pipe Oh, you can sit out on the front porch with your sit out on your banjo. Sit out on your front porch with your banjo, smoking a corncob pipe with your straw hat on, waiting with your single barrel shotgun with some bird shot in it.
Is that Bigfoot?
Hey, what the fuck you doing on my property? What you doing on my property?
Those are my trees.
Get off my... Hey, bitch! Get off my property!
You hiding in my tree line, boy? I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you with this
Better
bird
get
shot.
out of my tree line. I got some tripwire on that trip line. It ain't a tree line, that's a trip line, boy. You about to die, son.
Gotta avoid the razor wire. Gotta avoid that
Hold
there
on, I'm
razor
gonna-
wire. I don't buy chicken wire. I buy razor wire. You'll lose your ankle. You'll lose your plate.
Man, Jamie just sent me the cutest pictures of Zoe. I'm about to send them to you. I'm about to text them to you. They're so cute. She put a little... It's so funny, too, because you know how I just said sit out on the front porch with your straw hat on? She literally in the pictures is pulling a big straw hat on her head. And I know you can totally edit out you can totally edit out that full name and everything. I know you can.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the pictures?
Yeah, that's super cute.
It's so cute, right? Isn't she a little cutie pie?
She is.
Man, gosh, dude. What was I saying? I'm sorry.
You were
I keep
asking
doing
about
this
my
shit.
wife.
Oh yeah, did I ever have any classes with her?
It's possible.
What grade was she in? Was she in your grade? Or what year did she graduate?
She was a freshman when I was a senior.
Freshman when you were a senior.
I think
was
a year behind you.
Okay, because was I a junior or a sophomore when you were a senior?
I believe you were a sophomore.
When you were a senior?
Yeah, because
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because
my first time being a peer tutor
you graduated in
was when we
2013,
became
right?
friends in
We started
And then-
hanging out heavy
yeah.
but I remember because that was when we would hang out like after school, but when you became a peer tutor is when we would also hang out during school, after school, you know, I'd crash at your house every night.
Magic by candlelight.
Magic by candlelight, bro. One of my most fondest memories.
Right.
It's just such a pure distillation of that point of our friendship and what it was centered around, you know? Like no cares, bro. Just the lights are out. Let's just play some Magic by candlelight. We don't got shit else going on. You know? Amazing. Now if the lights go out, I'm like, fuck.
We should definitely, when we both
Dude,
get the chance, play
I
some
have
cockatrice.
cockatrice.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I have it. I have it, dude. I have it downloaded right now. I need to make a deck. I suck at deck making, bro.
I'm pretty sure
I've
I'd
never
have
been
to
good at
make
it.
a new account unless my account.
Unless you've backed up your cards, then you won't have the same decks on there, I don't think. I don't know if it saves them to a cloud. I don't think it does. Man, I am loving having the second monitor set up. I'm really, really enjoying it a lot. It feels so fancy.
I have it downloaded. I'm trying to connect to a server real quick to see if it'll allow me to. I might just have to re-download it because it's been years since I played.
Yeah, dude. I'm
But anyway, to redirect us a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of went off the rails.
Fast forward from you guys being in the hospital to you guys being home for the first time with her. How
Mhm.
long did she have to stay in like a NICU or anything?
No, it was she was born and within within 48 hours we were packed up and heading back to the house. So we had no complications. And I think from the moment, and to show my naivete surrounding childbirth, I thought that labor meant that like from the moment you were pushing, right? So when people were like, "Oh, I was in labor for like 24 hours or 14 or 17 hours," I'm over here my whole entire life.
It's from the moment your water breaks.
Yeah, it's from when you start dilating, and then you know some people. My wife had to be induced, right? Because she wasn't dilated quite enough, so they had to induce her with something. It starts with a P. It's something.
I can't remember if they did that with Caitlin or not. After a while, they put this gigantic, like large peanut in between her legs to help dilate her a bit more, and then like within
Like,
like 30 minutes of that, we were
a
in the
a
delivery room.
peanut.
It was like a gigantic green inflatable peanut that they just it was in the shape of a peanut, and they called it the peanut. That's all.
Huh. Okay. It sounds very, very. It's just so funny because it's just so close to penis. It's just the penis.
Yeah,
Hey, go get the peanut. I'm just kidding. But,
I think Caitlin was like 10, 12 hours, and then they did that.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly how long. I'd have to ask Jamie, but I can't remember exactly how long she was in labor. But yeah, my dumbass, before Zoe was born, my whole entire life, I thought that when women said that they were in labor for like 17, 18 hours, that they were like pushing for that
in the
long.
room for
So
that long.
my entire life, I have held this unwavering respect for childbirth because I'm over here thinking that women are just like, I hate you. I hate
Okay.
you for like 18 hours.
Okay, you can stop pushing. We're gonna get you some water, get you some Jello, and then you're gonna start pushing again.
Yeah. Do you have to shit? It's normal after hour 16. It's normal to shit. Damn, bro. Okay, so I just, on the Oracle importer, the Oracle card importer for cockatrice, I know this is a huge aside. I just finished importing all the cards. Guess what the card total is these days?
Probably like 30,000.
54. Yeah, you were on the money, brother.
My predictive ability with numbers is ridiculous.
That would mean that those are those 33,000 individual cards? Because those aren't
Yes.
like, those aren't going to be duplicates.
No, there are no duplicates. Those are each individual card in it.
That's
To this
fucking
day,
crazy.
If you Google what is the most complex card game, Magic the Gathering, just because of the number of combinations you can do
Of
with
permutations.
of permutations of making a deck, and so many different varieties with like standard, legacy, commander, all of it. There's so many variations and different ways to play Magic that it's the most complex card game on the planet.
Yeah. 33,000 is bonkers. It feels like I don't have the attention span anymore. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm really happy to be using this little boom arm for this microphone though, because it's I don't know, it just feels really fancy.
It does. Having a boom arm does make you feel a little bit more fancy, being able to just
It makes me feel like I'm fucking in a
manipulate
news studio.
here, manipulate it over here if I want, get it a little bit more out of the way. It does make you feel a bit more fancy.
Yeah, it makes me feel like a newscaster, you know? It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I feel like did I answer your question? I'm the worst about going off on these freaking tangents.
You did. I asked you if there was any complications or anything.
Oh yeah,
and
no, none at
there
all.
were none. You guys had a very easygoing, because Lee was in the NICU for a week and Imogen was in for 2 weeks because she just could not keep any formula down.
So they just had to keep giving it to her every time?
Mm-hmm. But luckily, all I had to do is every time I went on break, and even when I got off of work those first 2 weeks, I would go up there and spend a good hour, 2 hours with her, just talking to her.
Mm-hmm. Just going up there and talking to Novalee?
Imogen. For the first week, I would go up there and talk to both of them, hold both of them. And then we took Novalee home. And what sucked about that is once Novalee left the NICU, we couldn't go back up there with Novalee. So my wife really couldn't visit Imogen that much for that second week. So it was just me having to go in there and check on her.
I bet that was
was
mentally,
real-
physically, soul
really hard on
torture
her.
for her.
It was hard. It
Yeah.
was really hard on her.
It must have been ripping her soul apart, not being able to have that contact. So were you like a nervous wreck, or were you, how were you handling all of it?
I handled it one day at a time, especially considering 3 hours after they were born was my first day at the hospital.
Were you working at the same hospital they were born at?
Yeah.
Holy shit, bro. So you were having to like be in like a workspace while your child was being born, like in the other room while you're at work? They weren't able to give you that day off?
I didn't ask for it because at that point I had taken 2 weeks off for just me and Caitlin to be together, because I put in my 2 weeks notice. I worked at Kroger before then, and I got the job, and there was like a 2-week period between when I quit Kroger and when my orientation at the hospital was. And I was like, this is great. This is going to give us 2 full weeks to just be together before the girls get here and before I start this job. And lo and behold, we went to a doctor's appointment for her because we had so many doctor's appointments because Caitlin is a type 1 diabetic and she also has MS. So we had to go see specialty doctors to make sure.
Does she have MS, really?
She does. And it's thanks to the girls that her MS is so good because the stem cells shrunk the lesions on her spine and everything, which is a very rare thing that happens where her MS is basically in remission right now, thanks to the girl.
Those are just miracles. They're literal miracles, brother. You have some beautiful, 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 beautiful babies, bro.
Thank you. Your daughter is
those
quite amazing herself.
That curly hair, man.
Yeah, Novalee has my color and my curls.
That curly hair and that ginger gene is fucking strong in your family, dude. That shit is no joke. I mean, that is a potent gene you guys hold. It really is. I mean, I'm not kidding. I wish you could see my facial expression.
Imogen's is lighter, but
it's more of almost like a blonde, like a strawberry blonde. You know what I mean? Like it's got that tinge, but it's got more of a blonde. Novalee, no, ginger, straight ginger.
She looks like her mom, has my hair and my temperament, while Imogen just looks like me.
So Zoey, she's a real good mixture. She has my nose for sure. She has my nose, but I think she has Jamie's eyes and all that other stuff. I think especially as she gets older, she's probably gonna start looking a lot more like Jamie. But then again, you never know. She could come out looking like somebody else in her family or my family, or it's kind of crazy how it happens.
It really is.
I mean, the fact that sooner than later we're going to be celebrating her 3rd birthday. You know, she's to the point now where she can sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. She goes, Twinkle, twinkle, little star, like a diamond in the... But sometimes I'll say it, I'll be like, Twinkle, twinkle, little star. And then she goes, how I wonder what you are. Oh, above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle. She starts singing it really fast. But she really, really loves Elmo, bro.
We cannot have Elmo in my house. Imogen is terrified of Elmo. We have a Tickle Me Elmo that somebody got for them, and we can't have it out because the moment she sees it, she just starts screaming. So
wow.
I'm not even risking it. I'm not putting Sesame Street on. I'm not risking it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And honestly, I don't put Sesame Street on. There are these specific, I try not to at least. The reason being, I don't like a lot of the stuff that they support.
Have out for kids nowadays. Yeah.
I don't support the message because I came in one day, or no, I would think I was taking I'm gonna be honest, I was just taking a shit. And like I said, our bathroom is connected to our living room because our living room is supposed to be the master bedroom, right? So Zoe is, watching TV, and I've taken a shit. I'm on my phone, and I just start hearing what can only be described as a very gay black man singing. A very queedy, I don't know, just very queedy, like, yas bitch type of song. And I'm like, what is this I'm hearing? What is this music I'm hearing on what is supposed to be a children's show my daughter is watching? What is this I'm hearing? So I open up, I kind of like lean forward because, I may or may not have wiped my ass by this point. So I need to make sure that I do that. But first I lean forward and crack the door open. And what do I see? I see a very obviously gay black man in what can only be described as, from the waist up, a tuxedo, and from the waist down, a ballroom gown. Yeah, like a big fluffy ballroom gown from the waist down, but from the waist up, he was wearing like a mildly feminized tuxedo.
That sounds like a very confusing outfit.
Yeah, confusing, right? For you and me. So I wonder, you imagine how that must make a child who's like trying to figure out actual gender roles, and trying to understand how the world works. Why that, if if you were to continue allowing your son or daughter to watch something like that, the inevitable question is, hey, daddy, why is he wearing both girl clothes and guy clothes? No. So the only, I remember getting up, I was like, So I finished up and I just went, nope, and just turned it to something else. So yeah.
I completely get it, because while I don't have a problem with the gay community. I want to preface real quick. I want to preface by saying I neither have a problem with the gay community. I do have a problem with the trans community, but I'll leave that aside. And anybody who I get it.
who
I get
hates, but my brother's
I only know a few people who are trans.
I don't know anybody that's trans.
I get the feeling that they're mostly doing it out of a fad or a way to get attention, than actually not feeling
personally
comfortable in their bodies. And I could understand wanting to be trans because of that aspect. But
yeah, the degree to which they go, it just seems excessive. It's never just I just want to exist. It's like, hey, I want to exist, but I want you to know I'm existing at all times.
And I don't agree with the whole pronoun thing. So I get it. I completely 100% understand it. And if that's something that they learn later in life, that's perfectly fine. But it shouldn't be thrust at our children the way it is.
Not only that, but it fundamentally alters their understanding of literally. Okay, so let's forget altogether the whole idea of pronouns for gender, right? Let's just look at pronouns in a grammatical sense, okay?
They, them is plural.
Yeah, well, not only that, but when you start mutating the meaning of different pronouns at such an early age, you are going to fundamentally alter these children's abilities to communicate properly. Forever and ever and ever, they're going to be on pins and needles trying to describe somebody as them. Is that okay? Is it okay? Are you them? Are you she? Are you a they? I'm scared. Please don't beat me up. So, and you can edit all this out. I understand if you do. You don't want to get
only if you want me to.
No, bro, I don't give a shit. Like I said, I'm not promoting anything. I'm just one of your dear best friends who loves you, and I'm very honored and happy to be invited on your lovely concept for a podcast.
And I mean, it's stuff like this that is important for a podcast like this. It's called Fathers for a reason, and it's your journey of being a dad, and you showing your standards as a parent of what you personally and I personally and the next dad and so on and so forth, what we would allow around our kids and how we raise our kids, and seeing those differences and learning from each other in those ways.
Yeah, I definitely like that a lot. And as you're saying that, I'm like,
for me, really the only things like kid wise that I put on for the girls is either the stuff we grew up with like we just today introduced the girls to Curious George because because it was on Disney Plus, it was advertising, and I was like, I haven't seen Curious George since I was a kid, and I know that show is low stimulation. I'm gonna put it on. Nova Lee watched it for hours because she was just so invested, and I know that it's not gonna get her addicted to TV because it's a low stimulation show. The only other things
it's not
we
like
really
Cocomelon.
Yeah, we would not have Cocomelon in our house.
No.
We would not have I had someone put on Baby Shark once, and I cursed them out. I said, "You turn that shit the fuck off right now."
Yeah, Zoey likes Baby Shark. She knows the song. She'll sing it, and it's cute because it's come on. But absolutely not. I am never going to be one of those parents that just loops the same song over again. It almost seems like abuse. Now, if the baby is
the only thing kind of like
it,
that we put on is we have a YouTube channel we listen to called Gracie's Corner, and Gracie's Corner is just,
I know that one.
Yeah, it's all those children's songs put together.
It's similar to Super Simple songs and stuff. Yeah. See, Zoe was always very fond of Miss Rachel. So
we have not put on Miss Rachel. I can't really give you a reason why, but neither me or Caitlin really care for the concept of Miss Rachel. I think it's one of those shows that inadvertently, whether you want it to or not, kind of gets kids addicted to TV. I think that's where I'm coming from, and what I see with social media. I may be wrong, but I'm just a little bit apprehensive of Miss Rachel.
It's pretty coming from a person who completely agrees with everything you're saying about like getting children addicted to TV. Now, we do always kind of have the TV going in the background for Zoe.
Yeah.
But, she'll be watching it and playing with toys, but she's not addicted. If I turn the TV off, she might get a little fussy, but she's not going to have a complete and utter meltdown. Nothing like that. Coming from a point of view that completely agrees with you, I'll say that Miss Rachel is pretty educational. It's good. I give it my seal of approval. Now there is I'm assuming a non-binary person that sings some of the songs named Jules that sometimes we got to skip because she's just a bit cringy, but it doesn't feel like, what would it be, like malicious, like evil finger pyramid, like we're gonna get these children addicted to this TV.
I get why parents put it on, especially knowing that I think she's a behavioral therapist or something like that, as her background.
I think she might have her master's in teaching or some shit.
She has some sort of degree that really helps her with
her
those
husband.
videos.
And her husband is a what's it called? A composer, like a collegiate level like composer, and he but they're pretty good. I would say go with your gut, obviously, but maybe have you sat down and like just kind of watched an episode or two of it by yourself?
I have not.
Give it a shot.
Like I said, I can't really give a reason why we haven't put it on.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying give it a shot because there's a lot of material that is on YouTube that would give you a lot of. It would give you a lot of freedom to kind of put stuff on and know that it's safe, But and I also said, it's educational because Zoe, she loves it. She loves it. She loves Miss Rachel. As soon as she sees Miss Rachel go, hello, her face just always lit up when she was a baby, like a little one. You've seen the videos. But she likes that. I've put on, her main ones are Elmo, Miss Rachel, but she also, I want to say I've put on, I think she might like Clifford. I've tried putting on Little Bear for her. But
the girls didn't really care for Little Bear. Like I
loved
tried
Little
that
Bear
too.
growing up, man.
I remember Little Bear. Little Bear was great, but it didn't really catch the girls' attention. Either,
so I think it might have just been maybe I was more into Little Bear when I was like more like 4, closer to 4 or 5 when I was more, because I feel like Little Bear has a little bit more of it's got a lot more life lessons in it, which are kind of a hard concept to grasp when you're
that
not
young,
even 3. I feel like
it's really hard finding programming that you're comfortable with showing your kids.
It doesn't have like some kind of malicious intent.
And even later in the day when you get tired of the kid stuff and you put on something just for you, it's hard to think, is it okay to have this on right now? Like I'll put on stuff like right now I'm trying to get them super hard into Star Wars because as you can see behind me, Star Wars is a big thing for me. So
brother, you didn't have to tell me that. Trust me, I already knew.
I'll put on like the Clone Wars or put on one of the old school movies because I want the girls to be into Star Wars because it's a big part of my life and my childhood. Some of the Star Wars video games are some of the best games I've ever played. I want to play Edge of the Empire, which is like Star Wars D&D with them when they're older.
Yeah. I mean, Justin, just the other day, R. Jonesy messaged me. I think it was like the same day or the day after I had bought and installed Knights of the Old Republic 2. And I was playing it, and I guess on my Steam when I logged on, it said, Stank
So you're
Chode.
playing it?
Yeah, Stank Chode, which is my
Steam name.
Steam name. Yeah, I need to get your Steam. Do I have you on Steam?
I'm pretty sure we do because we used to play Elder Scrolls Legends together.
Dude, I'm so sad they freaking
Closed the
undid it.
servers for that.
Yeah, bro.
Such a
Did
good
you
game.
did you play it right before they closed the servers?
It had been months since the
Dude,
last time I played
so
it.
like
Before that.
so right before they closed the servers, they made every single card, every single thing cost one in-game coin. You know the coins you get after you win a
Yeah.
match? Everything costs a coin. Like every single deck, every single thing cost one coin. So you could just ball out and buy everything for like one coin a pop. So I bought like multiple just like decks over decks, and then I cuz my what I thought is that we were just going to be able to keep it, and they would just kind of maybe keep it
Keep
going
the servers
for
open,
people.
but they wouldn't be updating
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because fuck them. It's like they rug pulled on me, man. I had invested money in that game. You know, I had invested probably close to like $70+ in that game with all the decks I had bought, and then they rug pulled it on me, brother.
Yeah, I put money in it, and I bought the story modes because
Yeah.
you know how big I am on Elder Scrolls lore.
Yeah, of course, man. The stories were neat, you know? And for them to it's like they're essentially saying, okay, thanks for your money, thanks for investing all the time, sorry, but you know, it was all for nothing, and we're just gonna keep all your money. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the game, thanks. Fuck you, bro. I had a grip of cash in that motherfucker. I loved that game, dude.
It was a great card game.
It was so streamlined, bro. It was like perfect. It ran just perfect. I mean, once you started the match and you were in, it was ready to go. There was no slow ass, you know, build up. Like, you know, with Magic sometimes, you know, I think it was just anytime somebody asked me what Elder Scrolls Legends was, I was like, do you know what Magic the Gathering is? They're like, yeah. I'm like, think of it like a much more streamlined version of Magic with Elder Scrolls lore. That's how I always described it.
It's a good way of describing it.
It's because it's exactly what it is. It's just super streamlined version of Magic the Gathering, completely surrounding and involved with Elder Scrolls lore. Do you know what kind of lore I've been getting really into watching videos on lately? DK. Warhammer.
I am big on 40k lore myself.
That shit is amazing, bro.
It's all space murder.
Yes, and it's just, no, it's like space murder and fucking space cultists and demons and like interdimensional void warp demons and shit. And like the lore behind the Space Marines is amazing. Like these dudes are like 400 years old, 600 years old. But then you have the, what are they called? The dreadnoughts.
Primarchs, the dreadnoughts and the primarchs. And
yeah, the dreadnoughts that are like tens of thousands of years old.
I have already started my journey on the Horus Heresy, and I read Horus Rising.
Is it like a visual novel or?
No, that's like one of the big novels in it. It's like 23 to 32 novels long about
Holy
about
fuck.
the split of the Imperium and how it like fell apart and caused like civil war.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a big like lore thing. Just look up, or when it shows up in the videos, Horus Heresy. It's a big thing.
Yeah, dude. I started playing Rogue Trader, but my computer just couldn't handle it. But I didn't feel too bad, so I ran a benchmark test on my computer online on this website. I can't remember what it's called, but it compares your computer to everybody else's. And as far as gaming goes, my shit's a tree trunk. So I need to get a new GPU, and I'm gonna do that tax season. But I can still play games and stuff. But somebody told me that Warhammer video games are notoriously badly optimized, so it made me feel better. I don't know if that's true or not.
I just started playing Space Marine 1, and it feels good. It's really the only one
But
I've
yeah,
played.
I got a feeling that you're probably running a pretty good rig, though.
I'm playing that on my Xbox.
Okay, well then yeah.
My rig needs to be updated. It really does. I could run some modern games, but not a lot of them.
Hey man, get busy, bro. I know that's how it is. You know, I make time at the end of the day. You know, I mean, I'll go give Zoey some loves and kisses, and I'm gonna come in here and chill for a little bit, because, you know, I gotta take care of my mental health too.
And
you know,
it's a challenge trying to find things to help you regulate when you're a parent.
Definitely. Because, coming off of such a, I've still got an addict mentality, and I will probably for a very long time, but, to the degree that it's, something that's going to impede me being a good father, that's just not the case anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. I'm at this point, I'm just worried about maintaining, being well adjusted, and improving more and more as time goes forward. I'm not trying to make any major changes, anything major. I've found
I only play video games when the girls are in bed, and I'm so glad that we have them on a schedule to the point that it doesn't matter what we're doing at 8 o'clock, 8:30 at the latest. The girls are in bed, so me and Caitlin could get time together. Maybe I could play a video game or come in here and play D&D with Steven and my cousin.
Right. So I'll definitely. I play when Zoey. I'll be on the game like when Zoey's awake and stuff. But we got a baby monitor, and she's got all her little toys. So we kind of give her a little free reign of the living room. She just runs around and keep an eye on her. But I'm grateful to be in a position where I'm not really ever made to feel bad that I want to relax, because I do take care of I do take care of my family well. I make sure everybody's got everything they need, make sure everybody's provided for, and I know my wife understands that when I come home and I feel like hopping on the game, it's not because and I don't come home and not walk in and pick up Zoey and give her some kisses.
And
so obviously
walk
I
up
pick
to your
her up.
wife, give her a kiss.
First
stuff
thing
like
I
that.
do
Yeah,
is
get
walk
it.
up to my wife, give her a hug and a kiss, ask her how her day went, catch up with my mom, go give Zoey a kiss, pick her up. If she happens to have a diaper, change it, blah, 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 blah. Give her a bunch of smooches and, poke at her sides a little bit to make her laugh and giggle. And then, I'll be like, hey, babe, I'm going to go hop on the game for a little bit. You think that'll be all right? She's like, yeah, of course. Boom, there it is. And then I'm just able to just escape for a little while, Just go escape.
I completely get it.
Yeah.
I guess it's just me, but I kind of feel guilty when I come in here specifically.
Yeah.
Like,
I get it, bro.
I could be on the Xbox sitting next to my wife after we put the girls to bed, because at my current schedule, considering I'm switching schedules to the weekend overnights, I only get like 20 minutes with the girls every day before we put them to bed. So I take those 20 minutes, I get some times with the girls, and then one of us will start on dinner, and then we'll either sit down and I'll play a game, and she like scrolls through her phone and falls asleep, or we'll watch a movie or something. But I guess it's because I just don't come in here enough that I feel guilty for coming in this room.
Yeah. No, I get it, bro. And I can empathize with that a lot because, I find, at least in my experience, that I'm more often my worst enemy than anybody else could ever be. So it's like I'm trying to sabotage my own happiness or something constantly. So when I'm
always taught that our mental health does not matter any more than
if it comes second, third, fourth to everything. And I have had enough just crazy breaks in my mental health that I know that I have to maintain a simple balance of, doing what I know I'm supposed to do and doing what I know I have to do, supposed to have to, but then also doing what I know I need to be able to do to relax.
Oh yeah.
Because, finding a way to unwind in a healthy manner is not easy for me. Because I just I like drinking and doing drugs, which is not an option really. So, so that's not something I can do. Well, what's the next best thing? Video games, obviously. I mean, if you would have caught me like 6 years ago, I would have said, man, playing music I still like music, but my guitar needs some work done on it. And if I do start making, like, playing my guitar again, I'm not going to be trying to write songs. I just want to play. You know, I've given all that up. I've given all that, like, recording music, doing projects, stuff like that. I've given all that up. I'm just not interested in it anymore. I tried for, and that's how I feel with a lot of this shit when I listen to it. I go back and listen to it. I'm like, yeah, it sounds okay, but, it's like overwritten, overproduced, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just very critical of a lot of that stuff. But so I appreciate it when people say anything nice about it, because I'm always super harsh about my own music.
I think anybody's like that with any of their work. Like I'm wanting to start writing again, and
like me, writing stories, short stories.
Writing short stories. I want to write a novella, like a science fiction horror novella about
something like
in space.
Something about the length of like the Copper Clockwork Heart.
Yeah, maybe longer. It's just hard turning an idea into thousands and thousands of words.
Yeah, dude, I can't imagine. I find so much respect for people who can actually sit down and crank a book out. It is such a foreign concept to me, sitting down and concentrating on something like that.
I wish I could do a Stephen King and write. I think he writes 10 pages a day is his goal as a writer.
Yeah,
he's the top tier. He writes 10 pages a day. I don't think I'll ever be to that point. If I could
10
write
pages
one
a day,
page a day in Microsoft Word, I would be happy with myself.
Well, and I think that that's where a lot of us fall short when we're trying to complete something, is that we even when we're not doing it for any specific reason, we set these finish lines, these bars. These bars, these unnecessary bars, these unnecessary checkpoints, these unnecessary finish lines that box us in. So why does it have to be 10 pages a day? Why can't it be 2 paragraphs a day? Yeah, it might take you 4 or 5 years to write it, but it's not like you've got some agent breathing down your neck like, we need that book finished by yesterday, boyo. That's not
so
happening.
Many authors out there are self-publishing now just because it's so hard to get a publishing company to want to do your book too.
And if it's a real passion, you'll do it, and you'll try to get the book out there just so
just so you can be satisfied that you got that story out.
Yeah,
even though if only 10 people buy the book while you're alive, just getting that story out there and knowing that at least one person read it would be enough.
Yeah, and seeing some of the things I have seen that are published, it is very clear to me that you can just pay to get your book published. It's not like you have to, be luck. Anybody can get their book published. You just got to pay for it. So it would definitely be something I would enjoy watching you do is writing again. But again, don't box yourself in with any kind of time constraints. So, dude, I was doodling the other day, right? And I just kind of started with a line, and look what I wound up with. I'm sending you a picture right now. I don't know how I wound up with this shit, but I did.
Squidward?
Yeah, it's like handsome Squidward. It like turned out to be handsome Squidward.
That's handsome Squidward.
I finished it and I was like, what the hell, man? How did I get here from
But just to redirect us and finish off real quickly, at least for tonight, we could come back on here on another time and do a second episode, because
yeah, for sure.
I want to spend a little bit of time with the wife before I go to bed.
Yeah.
If you could sum up the first year of Zoey's life and how it affected you and changed you for the better, how would you do that? Considering you also said that, you barely drink now, and you went through that journey during your first year as a father as well. How would you define and give advice to someone listening that's struggling with something like that to be a better dad themselves?
Well, certainly the first step is going to be acknowledging that there's an issue. It all stems from there. That's like the little seed that you plant, and everything germinates and sprouts and grows from that. Because if you don't start with the fundamental honesty of admitting to yourself that you have an issue, and because everybody else knows it, you're not hiding it. If you're at a certain point, they're the people closest to you. If they know you at all, they're going to know that you have a problem, and they probably already do. But with that being said, you're doing yourself no favors by lying to yourself and saying, I'm fine, I can handle this. If you have a problem, you need to admit it. And then we can grow from there saying, okay, well, how do I fix it? And then you can start to build up your support structure by cluing them in on the fact that you have an issue. For me personally, it was my mom, my wife, and
Your brother.
a few. Yeah, well, my brother too, but he doesn't really live in town. He lives out of town. He lives a couple hours away, so we don't really see each other a lot. But a few, my mom, my wife, a few key family members, they were my support structure through that whole experience of moving away from the drinking every day, and then to eventually not drinking at all. And that whole first year is full of a lot of, when I look back on it now, it's full of a lot of very great memories. It's full of a lot of really awful ones. But the number one constant throughout that entire first year of Zoe's life was Zoey. The fact that she was there, the fact that she existed, no matter how bad or how horrible I would be feeling about myself, I could always remember, wait a minute, buddy, calm down. This isn't about you anymore. But yeah, this isn't about me. This is about Zoey. This is about my daughter. This is about making sure that she grows up to be a functioning member of society who, doesn't go out and vote for people who say, we want to be able to trans your children and not tell you about it. We want to be able to, do a bunch of crazy shit behind your back because the counselor knows better than the teacher does. No. I kind of forgot where I was going, man. I was kind of going off a little bit on a tangent. That's kind of embarrassing.
If you could summarize your first year with Zoey.
Oh, right. And damn, that was embarrassing.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, that sucked. I completely lost my train of thought. And I'm going to go back later and listen to this after, you edit it and everything. I'm going to go back later and be like, you dumbass, you were talking about this. So, summarizing that first year without going out on another super long tangent riddled spiel, it was the best year of my entire life because I feel like I was able to experience the entire full scope of human emotion because it was the most amazingly beautiful moment, holding her in my arms for the first time and watching, this little tiny human being that I helped create that is breathing and looking around, trying to hold her little head up because she is so strong already. And doing that, and then also having, some crippling breakdowns due to just the absolute, just sheer, pure guilt I would feel sometimes, waking up knowing that I had said something really, really bad the night before to my wife, know, and knowing that it was not going to be fun to face that. I mean, all of it together, everything good outweighs all that stuff. And I don't think anything could ever change it because the only reason I was able to get through all of that was because of my mom, Jamie, and Zoey. That's it. And well, them and God, obviously, Jesus. But I was maybe a little less religious then. I've gotten a lot more religious within the past year. But,
trust me, I have too. And I think having a kid kind of makes you want to search for some spirituality as well.
Yeah, well, that's why the concept of a father, son, father, children is so prevalent in religious doctrine. Because it's something people strive for. As a parent, you're still a child to someone. You're still a child to your parents. They'll always view you as a child. Their child. You may be grown, but so you're still somebody's child. So there's a duality to it. What you looking for?
I was trying to make sure I had the exact verse correct. as a pagan, I and a former Christian, I know some verses. I just wanted to make sure I had the verse right. And one of my favorite Bible verses that I still take to heart today is Corinthians 13:11, which is, when I was a child, I talked like a child.
I love this verse.
I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Childish things. Yep.
And that is something everybody can take to heart, because you're always growing, and you're always going to have that little bit of child in you.
The rest of that verse, right? It's beautiful. So the rest of that, have you read the rest of that verse?
It's been a long time.
So listen to the rest of it. If I speak in the tongues of men or angels, but I do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always projects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part and prophesy in part. But when the completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part. Then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. That's the full.
And you could take all of that to heart as a parent, as a husband, as a wife. It doesn't matter what you are. You could take
as a
that to heart.
friend, as anything.
Persevere to push forward for love, and that is what it boils down to being a father, is wanting to be better for your children.
Not only wanting to be better for your children, but wanting to give them everything that you didn't have and more, and wanting their lives, wanting them to have just an overall better experience than you did. Even if you had a good childhood growing up, why wouldn't you want your child to have even an even better one, you know? And it's all the more so with people who had troubled lives. You would think that a lot of, and you do see it with a lot of people who had really, really rough lives. You know, they come in and they just come in and just, when they have a child, they just give them everything. I've seen it before. Myself, I've seen it like happen where, you know, like somebody who was, you know, they're very destitute, and then they grow up and they wind up being one of the best mothers or fathers you've ever seen, because they know what it was like to have nothing, and they'll be damned if they let their child go through that, you know? But yeah, it's been a beautiful, beautiful 2 years having Zoey as a daughter. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for the universe. There's nothing in this world, in any spiritual world, that would satisfy the need that I have as a father to love my child.
I think that is a fantastic message to push out. And as we come to a close, because we are almost at 3 hours with this recording,
really? Dang, man.
We are almost at 3 hours.
That's good though, because that gives you a lot to edit and go through, and you know, make a good what's the word? A coherent podcast out of my ramblings.
Like my first episode, I think it was an hour and a half of me just rambling to a microphone with nobody listening, and my actual episode is probably 38 minutes long.
Where do I find the episode at?
It's on YouTube as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Is it under your Kami Karas?
Yeah, it's on the same YouTube channel that Family Questscape is on.
Okay.
Like if you go to my profile, it's the video that plays when you show up there.
Okay. Let me see. 7 Days a Skeptic. No, that's old. Holy shit. The latest one?
I should have it as the video that popped up. That's what I remember.
Oh, there it
seeing
is. I
as.
see Fathers.
Yeah.
Fathers. No, your latest one is the Delta Green VICID episode 6.
Like I remember having it set up that if
No,
someone
yeah.
clicked on my profile, Fathers would be the one that plays. Maybe I need to reset it. Maybe I just need
The
to reset.
one when I click on your profile, nothing is playing. But the first video, like that's directly under home video shorts live, it's 7 Days a Skeptic, but that's like 7 years ago.
Yeah, I just pulled it up and it pulled Fathers episode 1 as the home. But yeah, as you could tell, it is on YouTube. All you'll have to do is click on the podcast tab because I have 2 podcasts and it'll pull up there.
Yeah, I see it. Hey, I'm listening to it. Your audio sounds great on it, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, and the music. Nice.
And I will add some music to yours after it's edited down and everything. But
Yeah, for sure.
I am gonna get off so I can spend a little bit of time with the wife. It was
Yes, sir.
fantastic talking to you again, and I cannot wait till the next time we get to sit down and have a conversation like this.
Absolutely, brother. And we will be having another sit down conversation like this again soon.
Mhm.
You know I love you, and I am so freaking proud of you, dude.
I'm proud of you too, man. You have come a long way from the young man who used to play Magic with me and sit in his bedroom and play a guitar for hours on end.
Man. And you yourself have come a long way from us just sitting on a couch in your driveway for 4 or 5 hours drinking Diet Dr. Peppers, just staring at the road,
Mhm.
Man, life. But yeah, dude, this has been great. And we hit 3 hours, baby.
We did.
3-hour podcast. That's big boy time right there.
Mhm.
It's
And
not every
I guarantee you about an hour of that is just pauses that it's going to edit out
I
automatically.
totally believe it. That'd be really interesting. But yeah, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get off here too. I'm gonna go smoke me a cigarette, and I think my mom just got home. My mom has been at Six Flags all day with my aunt and my brother
Oh.
and my uncle. So yeah,
Well, tell her I said hey because it's been quite a long time since I've talked to Vicky.
I will. She remembers you. She definitely does. I'll definitely tell her that you said hi. I've showed her pictures of your daughters. She thought they were very, very cute, very beautiful. I'm pretty sure I think I remember her saying that hair or something. I can't remember.
Everybody that sees pictures of Novalee comments on her hair, so I can believe it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. I definitely feel like I'm going to be a recurring guest. So
Maybe even a co-host if you'd like.
hey, man. Yeah. We could just talk about stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, we could just make it a thing. Yeah, man. Well, I love you,
I love you too, man.
and I guess I'll talk with you later, brother.
All right.
All right, man.
You have a
Take
good
it
night.
easy.
You too.
You too, man. Get some rest. Go kiss those babies goodnight. All right, bro. Take it easy.
Take it easy, man.